University. Batting eight, number 22, the right fielder, Aaron Miguel from Westmont University.
There, sorry about those audio problems we had a little bit earlier on the broadcast, but we are back now here. Dylan Vanderveen and Landon Stills here right to my right as the Miners here have started off with Luke Wilson over at third. One out right now as Erickson just got out as Eberhard comes up now. It's Eberhard, Medlock, Grouch. That big-time home run hitter, and Jeffrey up next. After that, Bilter, Parentoni, McGee, your starting lineup. If you didn't check the social media before the game, make sure you do that here before you come to our broadcast. We got all the social media stuff, all the highlights from yesterday's game as well up there. That one lands outside. Two-0 start here to Eberhard, who's had a really good start to his summer. As that ball's all the way back towards center field, and it will be caught there as Wilson will come home easily. It's a sacrifice fly, and the Miners start up 1-0.
Great start here for the Miners. Better start than our broadcast, that's for certain. Luke Wilson gets on, goes through, tries to steal second. Ball gets by, rounds to third. And Carter Eberhard with a deep sack fly to get things going.
Now Elliot Medlock, who normally hits in the 2 spot, moved to the 4 spot are now here in this game. As he gets that move to the cleanup spot in, will bat with 2 outs. First offering is a breaking ball in there for strike 1. One thing about being this close to the field, this low to the field, you could see the breaking pitches a lot easier, as that's another breaking ball in there. It's going to be grounded over to first, flipped over the pitcher, and stepped on the bag is Ghana. We're going to the bottom of the first, but the Miners strike first. It's 1-0 early on here in Chugiak. Right back at Lee Jordan Field, where the Chinooks are taking on the Matsu Miners, starting off 1-0 here early on in this game. It was a leadoff hit by Luke Wilson, followed by a sacrifice fly by Eberhard that got him in, and the Miners did situational baseball to go up 1-0 here early in the broadcast. Right here on the Miners YouTube channel, we'll try to get you the best shot we can. They got the chain link fence just like at home games here. Chugiak as Michael Malkey's right here on the bump, gets his first start of the summer. He has seen just a little bit of action, couple innings early on in this season, but this will be his first start for the Miners. Supporting those really colorful uniforms again today. Got those camo unis with the red, white, and blue numbers.
First batter he's facing for Chugiak is Caden Bradshaw out of the Air Force. This season only had 21 ABs, but batted .238. Multi-sport athlete in high school.
It's a nice breaking pitch, just lands right in there, and watching it in for strikeout number 1.
Had me fooled and definitely had Bradshaw fooled there. Beautiful breaking ball there from Mulkey to get things started early.
The backwards K to start things off for Michael on the bump. Michael just pitched 5 2/3 innings in the last season for him at Cal Baptist, as that one's over to Medlock, off a slide, throwing to Eberhard. There is 2 away.
Beautiful job there by Medlock. Different playing surface than he's used to after yesterday at second. Slides in, ball finds the back of the glove, and it's just an easy throw to first.
Yeah, I don't know if Medlock's really ready for our field either, but by the way he slipped running after third base
Dude,
yesterday.
you post him on social. You're gonna post him on social media, and now you're
I'm
ripping
on
him
the
here.
broadcast as well. Yeah, I told him before the game. I was like, I'm putting a slow-mo in there, maybe a banana graphic as well. You know, just to show the.
I don't think you
slip
know
on
how
it.
to put a banana in
Maybe.
that video.
We'll see. We'll see. I'll figure it out. That ball's hit into center field. Wilson's tracking, and it is a quick bottom of the first for Michael. We're going to the top of the second. Miners still lead it 1-0. We're right back in on the broadcast. Dylan Vanderveen, Landon Stills right next to me, as we are doing every game for the Miners broadcast right here from the YouTube channel, so stay tuned all season long. Give you the best shots on the camera that we possibly can through some of these chain link fences that are around this league. That one's fouled off the foot of Grout. He's going to take a little bit of a walk to shake it off. He's still smiling, having a really good start to his summer so far. See what he did when he was in high school as well. Was just the 4th-ranked prospect in Iowa for the class of 2024. Unfortunately, more than likely, the #1 prospect was on his team in Carter Geffrey. So,
I mean, why not take 2 of the top 5 guys in all
absolutely.
Iowa? definitely proven their worth early on so far this season.
Ghana's tried a lot of breaking balls early. That one misses inside again. Nearly hits the same foot that Grout just fouled it one off of. 2-1 count so far. Another beautiful spinning pitch to a 2-2 on the hack by Grout.
Ghana hails from the St. Mary's University out in Kansas. Pitched 56 2/3 innings this season, posted a 6.38 ERA. Struck out 50 batters and walked 36 of them.
Well, Grout's going to walk here, and we'll put a runner on for the Miners to start off the inning for the second time in a row. It was Wilson who led off with a base hit after a really good AB of 8 pitches that poked it into right center field that got the first run for the Miners after the sacrifice fly by Eberhard. It's Geoffrey, then Bilter, Parentoni after that. As Carter sinks in, hit a home run that I already posted on social media and said that I don't know if it's landed yet. That's what the rumor is. As
cut my call out of it though, so that's okay.
It's whatever.
I'm not mad about it.
Did you want your call in there with the Pioneer Peak on it?
Yeah, my voice peaked and so did the ball when it reached the top of that mountain. Geoffrey batted .447 in high school with a 1471 OPS. Number 1 catcher in all of Iowa for his class.
Those numbers, you can see why. Big hack comes up empty. Back pick try over to first, not in time either.
I think they need to get him a tighter helmet. About half his swings, it just flies off his head. I feel like if I were a batter, that would annoy me a little bit. I know I didn't play baseball as much as you did, Dylan. Like, did you have some similar experiences?
That was never. A
oh,
problem
you didn't swing hard enough.
So yeah, maybe that was the problem with it. I just didn't swing as hard as Geoffrey does, but. Yeah, that was just not an issue for me. Every once in a while when I was pitching, I had a lot of hair on my head. Believe it or not, in high school, I had more hair on my head than the receding hairline I have. But, yeah, you see the pitcher kind of, we saw actually once in game yesterday where like 6 or 7 straight pitches, the hat fell off the pitcher for
I think the tally got to 9 in his outing. He's keeping track.
And Geoffrey's going to come up empty, just a little bit behind on that. Didn't miss it by much, but it is going to be a strikeout and bring up Evan Bilter, who's still looking for his first hit on the season.
And you talk about how he's still looking for his first hit. He's made a lot of great plays with his bat, but they're selfless plays. He had a sac bunt yesterday to move a runner over. He's one of those guys that it doesn't really matter what he does when he comes up to the plate. He's absolutely going to do what's best for his team, and he proved that yesterday. He gets walks, that sack bunt, like I mentioned. He's a team player, and that's what matters.
Ghana here on the mound. He incorrectly said he's from St. Mary's in Kansas. Actually, the St. Mary's in Texas, the Rattlesnakes.
Why are there so many St. Mary's?
There's, like 4 or 5 of them, yeah. There's a lot of them. We got 2 guys from a different St. Mary's in California with Joe McGee along with Justin Santiago, who will be here shortly, hopefully in the next couple of days. He was in regionals for NCAA Division I. Ball's fouled off to the right side by Bilter, falling into a 1-2 count for the Colorado School of Mines product.
See on your screen, he batted .391 this year, brought in 37 runs. Just a little downtick from last year where he batted .426.
Over to short, could be 2, 6-4, over to 3. It is a double play. And that will end the inning for the Miners. Bilter grounds out in the double. And we will go to the bottom of the second. Same score, 1-0. Welcome back, Lee Jordan Field, Miners broadcast. Dylan Vandery and Landon Stills right next to me as it is a 1-0 game so far. Just one scored in the top of the first. Going to the bottom of the second now for the second chance for the home team, as that one is fouled straight back out of play for an 0-1 count. Chinooks here so far on the season are 1-0. Beat the Anchorage Glacier Pilots in their one exhibition game, as that play is a running one for Parentoni, easily making the play over to Eberhard. There's one away.
Brings up Patrick McClellan, redshirted this year at UAB due to injury. He appeared in 51 games for Southern Union Community College back in 2024. Recorded a .344 batting average, 55 hits, and 41 RBIs.
One guy that went to UAB, Braxton Shelton, used to play with them on our club team a couple of years. He was a lot better than me. That's why he went to Division I.
Was going to say, were you the only one that didn't go Division I on that team?
2-0 start here on the batter. McGlon playing over at third base today for the Chinooks. And that will be a walk for the former Southern Union Community College baseball player, and it will be the first base runner given up by Mulkey on the day.
Coming to the plate for your Chinooks, number 21, the first baseman, Jake Mitchell.
Brings up another IO guy, played an outfielder though this time, Jake Mitchell. Just finished his freshman year there in high school. He batted .306 with a .434 on base percentage. Stole 22 bags his senior year, so if he gets on, he's got some speed.
Ball landed right at the top of the zone for strike one. Good heater by Mulkey to get him into this count. You got Mitchell, then Anchors. After that, Medeiros is the 8 batter, followed by Green. Geffrey behind the dish today. Erickson caught yesterday. They'll go back and forth. Ian Francis more than likely no longer coming to the Matsu Miners. They're supposed to be the third catcher hailing from my university, University of Kansas. So pretty sad to see that guy's name kind of crossed off the list, but he'll be looked to be drafted in the single rounds this year. So congratulations to him over there from the Kansas product.
Don't worry, everyone. I only had to console Dylan a little bit when I told him that that was happening.
Yeah, I only cried for about 3 hours last night. A ball just missing the outside corner.
There's a reason I'm not an umpire, because we're closer to the home plate than we have been in the other broadcast booths, and I probably would have called that a strike.
3-1 on the count, not wanting to walk 2 straight batters. Got to go at him. Nice breaking ball, lands inside this time, and it will be back-to-back walks, that time on 5 pitches.
This is the one area of the Miners pitching that they have struggled with. It's giving up that free pass. We talked about it yesterday on the broadcast. Miners didn't give up a lot of hits, but they gave up a lot of walks. They hit a couple batters. No team has been able to take advantage of that yet, and that's what's allowed this pitching staff to see the great success that they've had so far this season. The Chinooks now with a great opportunity with runners on second and first.
That'll bring up Kevin Anchors, the catcher for this team. One of 3 listed on the roster, along with Tim Reynolds and Charlie Deaton. Geffrey having a conversation that time with the home plate umpire.
Just transferred to Limpsicum, didn't play this year, but his previous school was St. Petersburg University. Played in 8 games, only had 24 at-bats, but he had 5 hits.
1-0, landing in there for a strike. 1-1 now on the count. Both the batters on via walk if you're just joining us on the Miners broadcast. 1-0 game so far. Breaking ball hit over to third, stepping on the bag, firing to first, and a good pick as well by Eberhard. That is going to end the inning due to some real good defense, a flashy leather play by Carson Grout, and he loves those. Licking his chaps. We'll go to the third, 1-0 game. Welcome back, Lee Jordan Field. Miners broadcast. Greg Parentoni leading off the Matsu Miners in the top of the third. Really good play by Carson Grout to get out of that inning and get out unscathed for Michael Malky there. Keeps the game 1-0. That's another thing that's been kind of keeping everything at bay as well. You talk about giving up some free bags, but there's been some pretty good defensive plays. Miners only made 2 errors so far this year, as that ball is hammered over on a one-hop to second. Collects himself and fires over to first is Clark, and there's one away.
Yeah, you talked about that sound defense from this Miners infield. Only 3 total errors on the season so far. We've seen a lot of great flashes of leather, especially from Greg Parentoni, who just grounded out. He had a great charge play back in the top half of the first inning. We saw the great throw over there at third by Carson Grout in the last half of the inning. The Miners have been very sound all around, but a lot of it is teetering and tottering on whether or not teams can start to take advantage when the Miners pitching staff struggles and gives up those free backs.
At the bottom of the order right now with the 9-batter in Joe McGee. Mention what he has done so far at the University of St. Mary's there in California in the Division I program. Downstairs, Ghana's got plenty of stats here in his career, as last season as well, he threw 14 appearances with 61 2/3 total innings. Did have an opponent batting average of .281. That's more on the high side with a 6.42 ERA. But he's knocked down his ERA at about a half point each time that he's aged a year. Another ground out over to second. This time an easier play, and just lost that out of his glove. Was looking at first base maybe just a little bit too quick, and getting on to first to continue with 1 out is Joe McGee.
It's just one of those plays where you kick yourself as an infielder. You get just a step ahead of yourself in your own mind, thinking, all right, now I got to make the throw, and forget that the ball's not in your glove yet, and that's what happened right there for Clark.
Brings up the top of the order in Luke Wilson. Single last time into right center field as he'll go to the right side again. Could be a first to third play. Here comes McGee. A little bit slow getting off to second base, but ends up at third cleanly. And it's runners at the corners, and Luke Wilson's 2 for 2.
And this was the Luke Wilson that we were expecting coming into this season. We talked about it on the broadcast. We've talked about it in practice. He's the textbook leadoff hitter. He's going to put the wood on the ball and put it in play. And he's done that twice today. We've seen him start to pick up good at-bats, has some walks, struggled a little bit on the base pass, doesn't have that stolen base number that we've expected from him, still missing a stolen bag, but with runners at first and third and only 1 out, would not be surprised what head coach Tyler Brunn does here.
Ball's put out of play as Erickson is actually going to foul out there, and it's going to be a close play over at first, but Wilson gets back there as he's been a little bit slow this time on the base pass. Has been thrown out already 3 times trying to steal bags over at second so far this season.
It's not even just trying to steal bags. He's been a little bit delayed on getting those leads on balls that you can't really tell if they're going to bloop in or not. He got thrown out trying to go from second to third on one of those. That's one of the early mistakes that the Miners have fixed in these most recent games, but something to keep note of as we continue through the season.
Wilson's taken off. He'll get a stolen bag, and he'll end up there at second cleanly this time.
And the 0 stands no longer in that stolen base column for Luke Wilson, a guy that we know is going to steal a lot of bags, stole 35 this past season at Johnson College.
Eberhard over to the right side, filling it cleanly is Clark. He'll make 2 outs in this inning, and that will retire the side. Going to the bottom of the third, it's still the 1-0 score. Lee Jordan Field, Miners broadcast. Dylan Vanderveen, Landon Stilts right next to me as we are going into the bottom of the third. Malky has worked somewhat quickly the last couple of innings, gave up a couple of walks before getting out of it with a ground ball double play over to third, step on the bag, fire into first. Ball kind of spikes itself to the plate. Jeffrey hops up quickly and catches it out of the air.
He's up the right fielder, Orion Medeiros. 2023, only played in 21 games. Made 2 starts in his freshman year, but had limited at-bats, only 11. Did score 7 runs, however. Hails from Westmont College. Redshirted his sophomore year.
2-0, fouled off to the left side, nearly into the Chinooks dugout. And 2-1 count. At the 8 batter right now. We'll go into the bottom of the order next with Green.
And that Chinook foul ball sponsored by Carlson Law Group.
Battle back to a 2-2. Here comes from the full. Ball will land outside for the breaking pitch. Tried with the curve. It will go 3-2. Breaking ball lands in there. Second called strike off that breaking pitch. And we will go to take Green.
It's the same breaking pitch that Bradshaw saw back in the top half of the first inning. Just dances right in there, that little 12-6 curveball. Nothing you can do with it if you're not expecting it.
It came back all the way from a 2-0 count. Fouled back with a couple of fouled off pitches, and then one ball before that called, third strike. Wall. It'll end up there. McGee a little bit slow getting it, trotting over to third, and getting in there safely is Green with a one-out triple.
Not many at-bats, no problem for Tate Green. Laces one out to the right field wall, showing off his speed, getting a one-out triple. And the Chinooks are set up. Just one out here in the top half of the third. Bottom half of the third, excuse me.
Looking to possibly tie the game with anything deeper into the outfield. That one sent McGee way back into right field. Looking like he's playing just maybe a little bit farther back than he was before. Kanan Bradshaw struck out on that exact pitch right there, his first AB as it spins in.
Well, he's thrown 31 pitches so far. Been relatively efficient. 2 strikeouts, both looking. There's that breaking ball again. Been
Bradshaw, but it just dropped right below his bat. Another beautiful breaking pitch. I'm sure he'll throw that pitch to Bradshaw again today if he sees him in a third AB. His Chugiak team.
straight back to the backstop. I'm waiting for one to fly at us. If we had a camera facing us, you could get a nice little live replay of Dylan and I flinching. Me probably curling up in a ball.
Even up on the count for Mulkey on the bump. He's gone through now 2 2/3. Hasn't given up anything quite yet. Still the runner waiting at third. A breaking pitch left a little bit over and just missed it that time was Hockemeyer. Grounded out over to Medlock on a nice sliding play back in the first inning. Two and one incoming, and it's going to be strike three swinging on the 2-2 count, and it will go to the top of the fourth. Same score, 1-0. Mulkey working out of it. Welcome back, Lee Jordan Field, the Miners broadcast. Right here with you in the top of the fourth. Elliot Medlock leading things up. Sorry if you get a little bit of frame-to-frame problems here with our stream. We don't have the best service out in Alaska as that ball is drilled out into left center field. It's going to land right there. Elliott's going to try for two, hustling his way to second base, and it's a leadoff double for Medlock.
Medlock with a little Trey Turner pop-up slide into second there. Beautiful. Wasn't as beautiful as that hit, though. Leadoff man aboard for the Miners, and Carson Grout.
Now it goes Iowa boy, then again Iowa boy between Carson Grout and Geffrey after that in the on-deck circle. I guess you say right next to the on-deck circle. Apparently he doesn't like standing in the on-deck circle.
Some people just have their preferences.
You know, well, he probably doesn't want to hit Tyler Brunn that's standing directly next to it, so.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be a good look. I don't know if he'd get any
Playing
more
time
reps after that. Yeah.
We only have two catchers now, so you
That's true.
definitely have to.
There's probably one of the guys that caught in high school who could slap the gear on for a little bit, if need be.
Ball is sky high, left center field. Tracking in underneath it is Groves. He'll make the catch in left. Elliott will stay put at second, and it will be an empty out for out number one.
Grout still looking for his first extra base hit. He was complaining about it in the van ride up. Singles machine, that's for sure, but still searching.
One to 0 so far on the count to Geffrey. Elliott with a good lead off of second, and that one's going to just hit Geffrey. He's used to being hit by the pitch, though, being a catcher. Don't say it's going to get any easier, but at least more used to it than what a second baseman or a third baseman is.
I was hit by one pitch in my baseball career, ended in Little League.
Is that why you quit?
No, I just was terrible at the sport. There's a reason I'm in the broadcast booth and not on the field there, Dylan. Oh, that one stung. Caught it right in the thigh.
Filter, we're talking about still looking for that first hit, has really done it well. Oh, and one Elliott's taken off. He read the timing of Ghana on his pitch selection, and you see the catcher there and Anchors making sure that Green and Clark work him up the middle, making sure that Elliott's not going to take off a second time and still an extra 90 feet. Bilter on an 0-2 count, needs something to the right side to do a job. The 0-2 offering from Ghana is landing in there for a called third strike outside corner at the knees. And Bilter will strike out looking, and it will be now 2 outs. Still waiting on first and second is Medlock and Geffrey.
I apologize for the stream issues with our video. Doing our best to try and fix it right now.
I can pretty much fix anything for a camera's purposes and stuff like that, but I can't fix bad service. So
I can fix anything production, but bad service is not my strong suit.
All is just trickled down the third base line, ends up foul over to Coach Jackson Charvis. At the bottom of the order with Parentoni, then McGee at the 8 and 9 spot. Though this order between 1 through 9 is pretty balanced, all the Guys outside of Bilter have had a couple of hits at least on the season.
Parentoni laced 2 doubles in Game 2 against the Bucks back on Tuesday.
The 2-1 with 2 outs. Elliott's taken off here. Throw to third. No, nothing there. And it looked like Inkers was trying more to go to second, but it's going to be a double steal there. And ending up at second and third. Now Geffrey right behind Elliott Medlock.
Geffrey was caught stealing back against Anchorage on that Tuesday. But the shortstop nor second baseman didn't come over to cover. So allowed Geffrey to get in there safely.
That was a great block by Anchors on a spiked curveball there, as it was easily going to be a scored run with this backstop for Chugiak, but keeps it in tune into a 3-2 count now for everything to Parentoni. Got a payoff pitch with second and third. The delivery, swing, and a miss. Parentoni goes down hacking. It stays a 1-0 game. Ghana gets out of the double, and we will go to the bottom of the fourth. Welcome back here, Lee Jordan Field in Chugiak, Alaska, as it is still a 1-0 game going to the bottom of the fourth. Malky still on the bum, pitching pretty perfect up to this point so far. He's given up just 1 hit on a triple by the 9-batter in Tate Green that went over the head of Joe McGee and a couple of walks back in the second inning, but other than that, he has given up nothing.
Malky's done a great job of pounding the zone here, and anything that goes in play has been pretty low off the bat. This Miners defense has backed him up beautifully so far.
Now Carson Clark will step in for his second AB. Flew out into center field. Luke Wilson out there, his first time up. First offering from Malky, another breaking pitch. He's got that pitch absolutely moving today.
Absolutely. His breaking pitch is his bread and butter pitch, and that thing is just out of this world.
Tries with a heater this time, misses low and outside to an even count at 1s apiece. And usually I would say for the pitch that really matters, you'd go with a heater, but the way that he's got his breaking pitch moving today, I would almost go to that. Goes to the heater to a 1-2 count, not listening to me, and I'm in the broadcast booth. Why would you?
Clark had 22 ABs this year with right stink, batted 182.
Back to a 2-2 count, going strike ball, strike ball. Trying to retire the first batter of the bottom of the fourth. Here coming from the full, another breaking pitch, grounded out over to Eberhard. He's going to take it himself, steps on first. There's one away. Eberhard had a nice pick earlier on the double play from Carson Grout. Always just looks that much more satisfying when you get a double play, and not necessarily you want to spike the ball over there, but just that much more satisfying getting the pick over at first as well in that double play. Breaking ball outside, 1-1 on the count.
Outfielder Groves is in the box now. From Oberlin College, career .348 hitter. Started in 73 games, over 290 at-bats. Just over 100 hits for the righty.
2-1 to a 3-1 as that one's inside and high. Actually batted just as good, actually even not better, as in 2024 as well, with a .382 batting average to his .308. And that will be the third walk issued by Mulkey on the day. As we'll talk about it again and one more time on the broadcast, it's really just been the free bags given up by the pitchers so far for the Miners. It hasn't been really anything that's done anything in terms of hits. It's just been the free bags.
It's truly been the only blemish on this pitching staff's record, is the pitching coach Jordan Duell is going to come out and have a conversation with his starter. Yesterday, I'm going to pull a page out of your book. There was when pitching coach Jordan Duell came out and had a conversation with his guy, there was a back pick attempt to second. No runner on second, there is a runner on first, so we'll see if that changes anything up. But I more see this as calming your pitcher down and letting him know, like, your breaking ball is working. Go to it. They haven't been able to hit it so far. If they make contact, it's been a ground out. Your defense is behind you. They've done a solid job throughout this game. Runner on first, only one out. Put that ball in play and turn the double play.
Always say one pitch away here with a runner at first in, one out. Third baseman Aglon now up to bat as he will take a hack at the first offering and comes up empty. Balls in this inning compared to the first three that's a breaking ball right in there, eating my words, for an 0-2 count.
I mean, if you're Mulkey, how could you not throw that pitch? It's just been unreadable out of the hand if you're a Chinook hitter.
Well, still staying alive, poked out of play on a little bit high offering, but staying alive on an 0-2 count.
Reminds me a lot of Mulkey's arsenal. It reminds me a lot of Justin Verlander when he was with the Tigers. That fastball curveball combo that right out of the hand, it looks the exact same until it's at the plate and breaks off the face of the earth.
Spikes that one that time for a 1-2 count. No harm, no foul. Still plenty ahead in the count. McGlon walked his last time up in the second inning. It was one of two straight walks between McGlon and then Mitchell after him. 1-2 offering from the stretch. Long wait this time, and another breaking ball. Beautiful pitch gets the K.
Just making the Chinook hitters look foolish out there with that breaking ball. The kid from Cal Baptist just dicing through this lineup right now.
Now 2 outs here to Mitchell. And another breaking pitch. This one lands too far outside. 1-0 on the count. Goes anchors to Medeiros and Green for the 7-8-9 if he can get through this cleanly, though Tate Green was the one that tatted him for the triple into right field. Sky high, he will, just in fair territory, making the catch, ending the bottom of the fourth. And we are going to the fifth. Same score. It's 1-0, all Miners.
14, the right fielder, Joe McGee.
Lee Jordan Field, Miners broadcast. Dylan Vanderveen, Landon Stilts right next to me on my right. I'll call you Wonderful later on. Don't worry about it.
I forgot the chords. You don't have to today.
Joe McGee watches that breaking ball bounce in the dirt. 1-0 on the count. He's at the 9 batter right now before it flips off to the top of the order, and Luke Wilson. 3 batters of this inning. And McGee waited for that pitch just a little bit, and it will be a 1-1 count now as it's fouled off and dribbled to the left side.
I'd be remiss if I didn't take a second to just talk about the view this ballpark gives us. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think it definitely rivals Herman Brothers Field for sure, especially that mountain over the right field wall. Just absolutely. Imagine living in one of those houses up there. I don't know if you can see them on the broadcast, but could you imagine that?
I actually can, only because I'm from Denver, so I can imagine like living in the house.
All right, well, you know what? I was trying to make a nice observation, and you're just
putting a dent. Yeah, I'm going to do it.
You're just ruining all my stuff today, dude.
Landon in there for a strike. It's a 3-2 now count to Joe McGee. 6th pitch coming from Ghana. First time we've seen both starters go into the 5th inning in a game so far this season. And that one's too low to McGee. It's going to be a 6-pitch walk, and it will flip up the order and a good opportunity to Luke Wilson.
Wilson's 2 for 2 today. Both singles to the opposite field. Some early movement in both bullpens.
You got Jack Insell out there warming up in the Miners pen, number 24 in camo. Breaking pitch too low, 1-1. Wilson so far 2 for 2 in the game. Both hits have been into right field. One more into right center. The other one right through the gap in the infield between second and first. This time it's poked through into left field, so a 3 for 3 outing so far for Wilson. Hasn't killed the ball at all, but is 3 for 3 and puts on first and second with none away.
Doesn't matter how hard you hit it as long as you get on base, and that's what Luke Wilson's done all day.
Second 3-hit game for him already on the season. Had a 3 for 5 day in Game 2 against the Anchorage Bucks. Remember, Miners still right now 3-0 on the season. These are exhibition games. This one and 3 more against the Chinooks are all exhibition games before we start actual play against the Anchorage Bucks. That will count in the standings for the end of the season of who will be the final 2 teams to play for the top of the World Championship in the 3rd week of July.
Such a cool name for a trophy. Such a cool name for a championship series.
Showing bunt was Erickson. He's going to pull it back after the breaking ball spikes. He's got a lot of movement on his breaking pitches as well. Had him more moving in the first inning a little bit more than he has in the last couple, but just can't seem to start high enough to get that delivery and to land in the zone. First and second, the 1-1 to a 2-1. You got McGee waiting there over at second. Wilson over at first. They ran the double steal already once in this game. Two and one. The bunt is going to be put down, and the delivery is going to be over to first. Erickson's trying to leg it out. He'll be caught there, but it is a sacrifice bunt to put second and third with one away. Selfless baseball by Erickson to get the bunt down.
Selfless baseball is always good baseball when it pulls it off. 2 runners in scoring position now for the
after he took 2 bases on a bad throw. The only error so far in the game thrown by Ghana on a back pick try. That ball is clobbered into right field, sending it back towards the wall. It's going to one-hop off of it. Easily scores McGee. Here comes Wilson behind, and it is a 2-run double for Eberhard. He keeps on mashing baseballs.
Eberhard, 3 RBIs on the day, got a hold of that breaking ball, lined it over the right fielder's head, and the Miners take a 3-0 lead.
Batting for the Miners, number 12, the second baseman.
So Eberhard's got all 3 RBIs on the day. Now 2 of them there off the double. 0-1 downstairs to a 1-1 count. Another good block there by Anchors. He's been working back there. Should I say a dad joke and say he's been the anchor so far? Ba-doonch.
I'm going to hit you. I don't condone violence, but I'm going to hit him.
Oh.
We have fun, don't we?
We do. We do have fun. Medlock doubled back in that 4th inning. Also stole a base on that double steal. Looking for another extra base hit. 1 for 2 so far on the day. Eberhard waiting off a second. Medlock, the 2-0 delivery is sky high into deep right center field. Still back towards the track. Caught there. Eberhard's tagging up from second. He will take a 90 feet over to third. So at least a quality AB to get the runner over for Medlock with 2 away. And now bringing up Carson Grout.
Grout, like we said earlier in the broadcast, just a singles machine so far this season. Still searching for that extra base hit. But only needs a single to bring home Eberhard.
Be curious to see how much longer they'll pitch Mulkey, or if they will go with Jack Insell here in this next inning or not. Breaking pitch beautifully lands then there on the inner half as it gets Grout swinging.
Grout didn't play at Iowa this year, but his junior season back in Iowa batted .475 with 5 homers.
I wonder if they had any type of bet going to see who was going to get the first extra base hit between Geffrey and Grout. Probably would have been a bad bet for Grout because Geffrey's got so much power as that ball is over to first and going to take it himself for the last out of the top of the 5th. But the Miners triple the score. It is 3-0 Hall Matsu. Welcome back in here. Again, we want to apologize here on the broadcast if it's really frame to frame on the broadcast. We're doing our best we can with the service that we're given. We're trying to run hotspots, Wi-Fi, whatever we can really find at each ballpark. So trying to find what we can, but we'll at least give you the play-by-play on it as that ball is smoked into left center field. Wilson's trying to track it back. He cannot get there. It's going to bounce off the center field wall. It starts off with a double here for the catcher for the Chinooks.
Definitely not the start you want if you're the new pitcher, Jack Ensel. He's got a great split finger fastball, just hung up a little bit too high in the zone there. Allowed Anchors to get a hold of that one. Luke Wilson with some great speed and a good arm to keep him there at second. It's 400 feet out to deep center field, so Anchors had a little more speed. Maybe he could have turned a double into a triple.
Now bunt's going to be tried to lay down, and the breaking pitch ends up underneath the bat for strike one. Offered at it, couldn't lay down the bunt. We'll see if Medeiros tries to lay it down a second time. Struck out looking on a breaking pitch from Mulkey, his only AB in this game back in the third. Looking for a sacrifice bunt showing early this time as Enzel's going to reset himself. And now looking to lay down the bunt here again. Goes back with the breaking pitch, and it's fouled off. So now 0-2. He tries to lay down that bunt again, lands it foul, anything like that. It is an out. More than likely, when he just stepped off, I'll give you a little probably baseball intuition here. He more than likely was throwing a heater on that second pitch, ended up stepping off because the breaking ball is a lot harder to bunt off than a heater. So breaking pitch more than likely the second call there.
Should just let you do my job, shouldn't I?
That's something. I mean, that's something you're not gonna know without playing the game for a while. Because I've tried to bunt off a curveball compared to a heater, and I'll tell you right now, it's a lot harder.
Bunting terrifies me. I would be so scared I'd break my fingers.
Honestly, it's really not about the fingers. It's about if you foul tip it back into your face, which is actually a thing that happens somewhat often. You won't see it in the higher levels, obviously, but you'll probably see. Yeah, you'll see.
You
it
took
in
one
Little
off the
League.
face, didn't you?
I have taken one off the face, yes, before, yes. One time. Oh, 2 hammered over the ground. Here's the throw over to second. No one was there. Medlock couldn't get there quick enough as Grout is going to take a big sigh of relief as that one got to him in about a quarter of a second to make that play, but it went right at him.
Carson Grout talked about how at Iowa his head coach preaches so much on good infield defense. Dylan's favorite joke to make is, so it's just defense everywhere at Iowa if you're a college football fan. And Grout showing off great defense there and even better reaction time.
Ball into left center field, could land for a hit, and it will. Anchors going around third. They're going to hold them there. It'll be runners at the corners as the throw gets cut off by Grout. And that will be a base knock for Green, who is 2 for 2 in this game with a triple and a single.
Very lucky break for the Miners. Center fielder Luke Wilson slipped before being able to make that throw. The third base coach for the Chinooks didn't quite pick up on it and held Anchors there at third.
Now goes to the top of the order for the third AB by Caden Bradshaw. So far struck out twice, once backwards and once swinging. Obviously hasn't faced Ensel yet in this game. Both of those were against Michael Mulkey, who went through 4 innings, didn't give up any earned runs, any runs at all, as the pitching keeps on dominating for the Miners.
This is Ensel's second appearance back against Anchorage on opening day. Had 2 strikeouts.
1-0 to a now 2-0 count. Third offering from the stretch, and that one's going to peg him right in that left shoulder. That one's going to end up leaving a bruise tomorrow, and we'll put him on first and second with one away. Bring up Nick Hagemeyer now. Go with his stats as well. 24 total starts for him in his 2025 season.
Had 185 in those 24 total starts. Jordan Dool wants to have a conversation with his pitcher.
Now, this would be the correct call to say something. Oh, maybe you'll look a back pick now, but after getting a walk and then a hit by pitch, more than likely just to calm down his pitcher more than anything here.
Insell in that opening day game against the Bucks down in Anchorage had himself in a similar situation, was able to work himself out of it.
Looks like right now he's having corners actually play back right now. I think it would be a corners in type of situation, but you got the corners playing behind the bag right now. Usually it's a 4-to-1 type of play with the runners moving up, but not necessarily worried about any type of run scoring. So Carson Garl could just as easily go to second than he could go home. But we'll see how the play kind of works out for him and shakes out.
Double play very much in order. Like you say, Dylan, just one pitch away for Insell.
Until the offering is fouled away, straight back, as saying some choice words for himself is Hagemeyer, thinking he missed that pitch, and it's 0-1.
Hagemeyer stands in at 5'8", 160.
And this time coming up empty on the hack, 0-2 as Insell works ahead. This would be a massive strikeout if he can get it here with bases juiced and only one out. Trying to do a job now with 2 strikes is Hagemeyer. Insell sets on the bump. Here comes the delivery from the full. Payoff pitch is swung on and missed. Insell goes down, or gets the strikeout as Hagemeyer goes down. And it is going to be 2 outs.
Like I said earlier, Insell was able to work himself out of a situation just like this in Game 1, 1 out away from doing the same here in Game 4.
A lot better situation with 2 outs. Batter's got about 1,000 here to get something in. Carson Clark so far in the game is 0 for 2 with a ground out over to third, as Wong with a fly out into center field. All lands too high, 1-1 now on the count.
Clark stands in at 5'9", 185. And from Vandalia, Ohio.
All lands in there for a second strike called. 1-2 now on the count. Insell 1 pitch away from getting out of a bases juiced 1-out situation. He's got his pitch selection. No, shakes off once, shakes off twice. And now has got a pitch that he wants. Here it comes from the full. The offering swung on and missed. What a pitch to get it out and tail out to the outside part of the plate. And he gets out of the bases juice situation. We are going to the top of the 6th. back, Lee Jordan Field. Dylan Vanderveen, Landon Stills right next to me, as Geoffrey's going to be up for what will be his third AB of the day. Cade out his first time, was hit by a pitch that grazed him his second time up. Miners lead this game 3-0. All 3 RBIs off the bat of Carter Eberhard, one by a sacrifice fly in the first inning, and then a 2 RBI double back last inning in the 5th.
New man on the mound for the Chinooks, Liam Neely.
Ball is sky high, tailing back out of play, and will lands in the bleachers. Hopefully everybody is done okay over there. I don't think anybody caught it because there would be lots of cheers. So,
take note of wind blowing from right to left. Geoffrey absolutely mashed a ball yesterday over the left field wall. Wind favoring him here.
as that one just in front of it ends up fouling a ball on the outer half of the plate to the left side. 1-2 count now to the home run hitter in Geoffrey. If you didn't know, he was the #1 ranked catcher in the state of Iowa in the class of 2024. Said that multiple times on the broadcast. If you've been listening to the Miners broadcast throughout.
It's for good reason. Batted .447 with 46 hits. Appeared in 38 and started 38 games his senior year. 27 RBIs for the catcher.
And a 2-2 count here. Still looking for that first hit of the game. A 2-2 offering lands too far outside. Liam Neely, who came on into the bump here in this inning. In a 3-2 count, looking to get the first out against Geoffrey. Pokes it over to shorts, taking off a couple of hops, firing over to first, making the play low is Mitchell, and there's one out as Geoffrey goes 6-3. Now will be Bilter, who we've already said it once on the broadcast, he's going to do it right here. 0 for 2 in this game, still as it connected on his first hit. That one bounced in a backhand over at third. Long throw made on the stretch by Mitchell, and there is 2 away now as Bilter goes 5-3.
Neely's come out and been extremely efficient. Got 2 quick ground outs to get things going here in the top of the 6th inning. Still a 3-0 ball game though for the Miners.
Taking a strike right at the knees is Parentoni for the first offering from Neely. Ball lands a little bit too high. Neely pitched in 13 total games for his team last year at Diablo Valley College. That's quite the name, the Vikings.
I feel like Diablo Valley and Vikings, those two names don't really go together. I feel like the Diablo Valley Devils would work a lot better. I don't know if
Sun
Vikings,
Devils,
Sun Devils, Viking and Diablo don't really mix that well.
A 3-1 is going to end up being a 5-pitch walk for Parentoni. He'll take 90 feet and will bring up Joe McGee in the 9th spot in the order.
Now batting for the Miners, number 14. Right fielder, Joe McGee.
McGee had a 2-run double yesterday back in the second inning against the Glacier Pilots. Both Anchorage teams off until the season opens.
Yeah, this is one of a 4-game series against the Chinooks. Will play at Herman Brothers Field tomorrow, then come back here for another away game before going back home again to play the exact same team before finally starting out conference play against the Anchorage Bucks after that. And McGee will take kind of a half-hearted swing that time and go 1-1. Goes McGee, and then the top of the order with Wilson, Erickson, and Eberhard. We love to get runners on base when Eberhard hits. As that one's over to short and taking himself for the final out of the top of the 6th. We're going to the bottom half. It's still Miners 3 and the Chinooks nothing.
For your Chinooks, number 3, the left fielder, Brady Groves.
And we're back at Lee Jordan Field, near home of Chugiak Chinooks, as Garrett Bowman is now on the mound, and this pitch is hammered into right center field. Wilson wakes his way back there and makes the catch.
New man on the mound for the Miners. It's Garrett Bowman out of Sam Houston. You can see his stats from this season on the screen now. Gave up quite a few homers, inflated that ERA to the 12.32 you see.
Ball is spiked there to the plate, 1-0.
Second batter he faces is Patrick McGlon. His umpire and Geffrey have a conversation.
A nice breaking pitch in there for a 1-1 count now, as he has done his job so far this season. Has one other appearance for the Miners so far this year, in his second one here, and that is a sky-high, towering pop-up over into left field. Bilter makes his way back and makes a nice gloved catch in left center, and there is now 2 away.
Bowman came on in relief of Jack Ensel. Finished out the bottom half of the 6th inning. Or bottom half of the 5th, excuse me.
Mitchell up now for his 3rd AB of the game. So far is popped out over to 3rd, as well as walked his first time up in the 2nd inning.
Mitchell's ambidextrous. Bats with his, from the right side, throws with his left. Out of Iowa City.
Yeah, don't ask me to say that word. That's one of the words. I don't know.
Ambidextrous?
I can't say it. I don't know why I can't say it. I can't.
Give it a
say
try.
No. No.
You're so boring.
No. Three and 0 count, trying to climb the ladder. Back is Bowman, as that one is fouled off to the right side and out of play. 3-1. Had the green light to swing at 3-0 though. Excuse me, 3-2. Lost count of the pitch count that time. Was focusing on the scoreboard that time, and it's now a 3-2 count. So I was wrong on getting the go to 3-0, and he's going to wave him goodbye here for a backwards K as Bowman will go to the top of the 7th. Back for the top of the 7th, Lee Jordan Field. Miners broadcast Dylan Vanderveen. Landon Stills right next to me, as it is Luke Wilson leading things off at the top of the order for the Miners. Still a 3-0 game. Scored one in the top of the 1st and then added 2 more in the top of the 4th as Wilson tends to put down the bunt. He's going to be called for a strike there on an 0-2 count.
That ball just caught the outside part of the plate. Great call by the home plate umpire. Wilson 3 for 3 today.
Takes the ball inside to see the 4th offering from the righty in Neely.
See on your screen, he had 35 stolen bags this season. Recorded his first one of the Alaskan Baseball League season today.
And they thought that pitch was a strike. Wilson stays in there, and it's going to be another pitch coming up on a 2-2 count. Two offering from the full, and is poked over to short. It takes a big hop off the mound, fired over to first, making the stretch as Mitchell. There's one away, but that ball had some serious pop off the mound there. That popped right into his glove and actually almost went over his head.
Anytime a ball bounces up off the mound like that, as an infielder, it's just got to be the most terrifying thing ever. Because you have no idea which direction that ball is going to bounce, and could bounce off to the left and split the whole could bounce straight to you like it did there, bounce way over your head like it almost did.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a ball bounce that far off the mound and into the glove of the shortstop like that just happened. I don't know if I've ever seen it bounce just quite that high, as that ball's fouled out of play by Ridge Erickson, one of the two catchers on this team. We mentioned we're supposed to have a third one in Ian Francis. Boo-hoo to me, and the University of Kansas guy not coming, as he will be looked to be drafted in the single-digit rounds this season, hopefully by the Cubs, one of the teams that were looking on him.
Wind's blowing out from home plate.
As that one is poked into left center field. It's tailing and will land for a base hit. Erickson wasn't necessarily running super hard. Didn't know if he thought he was going to get on with that, but we'll get on with a sky-high single.
Brings up the man with a 2-run double. Back in the 4th inning, Elliot Medlock. Or Carter Eberhard, excuse me.
You definitely want as many runners on base for the guy that's got 3 RBIs, all 3 of them in this game, 2 of them off a double back in
the 4th inning.
Yeah. That ball spikes. Keeps it in front. His anchor's done a really good job back there, 1-0. Are too low on that pitch. Goes to now a 2-0 count. The man that you want in a hitter situation. Ball's out of the zone, 3-0.
Definitely the guy you want in this 3-hole. Great lineup construction today from head coach Ty LeBrun of the Miners.
3-0 is going to be taken for that first strike. 3-1, back into a hitter's count we go. Elliot Medlock waiting on deck to get his chance at the swings.
I would expect Eberhard to get the green light here on 3-1 with the way he's been hitting so far this season.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Always want to be swinging away on the 3-1 count. 3-1 offering is poked foul. Just missed it underneath his bat. Ends up on the left side to a 3-2 count we go. Long wait from the mound. Here comes the payoff pitch from the stretch. It's going to land inside. Ball 4. Erickson was taken off anyway, but he will not be credited with a stolen base. It's a base on balls, and to Eberhard, it is now a 1 for 2 game with that double, 3 RBIs and a walk. Now Elliot Medlock comes in. Carson Grout waiting on deck. Goes in the order of the 2 Iowa boys.
Medlock played hockey in high school. Holds the record for most points and career goals out in New Hampshire. Captain the hockey team for 2 years.
Lands in there for a strike right at the bottom of the zone at the knees on the outside corner. Runners leading off at first and second. You got Erickson and Eberhard, the 0-1. As check swing lands in there for a strike regardless of the check. In a hole now is Medlock at 0-2. Another pitch from the stretch from Neely. It's a breaking ball poked into left. Erickson's going to wait over at third. It's going to be a bases loaded situation for Carson Grout.
Carson Grout has been complaining about the fact he doesn't have his extra base hit. An extra base hit here could potentially clear the bases for the Miners.
Batting for the Miners, number 16, the third baseman, Carson Grout.
Grout was the number 4 prospect in Iowa for the class of 2024. Iowa teammate on deck in Carter Geffrey.
Both these guys obviously got some serious power to their swings. We mentioned the 5 home runs that Carson Grout put out in high school in his last year. Takes a hack on the first offering, comes up empty on the bottom of the zone. Great job by Medlock as well to get low enough to be able to hit the pitch that he just did.
Coach Tyler Brunn wants to have a conversation with his batter.
Wondering what he's seeing here. It's a lengthier conversation. Wonder if he's seeing anything that the pitcher is telling off on his pitch.
Potentially tipping pitches. I'm going to start paying attention to it. So now the catcher, Anchor, wants to have a conversation with Neely.
I wonder if they're maybe seeing their pitches or anything like that. If Eberhard had his hands open or anything like that, saying that he knew the pitch coming and Tyler told him to watch it or something like that's going on. But for sure coming up is the catcher and pitcher just switching up their signs, making sure that the Miners don't know what's coming. It's a little bit of chess play, if you call it, in baseball.
As much of a mental game as it is physical.
It's very much more mental than it is physical. About 80% mental, 20% physical is how
I feel like that's a good
big
split
ones
on
say.
it. More of a 75-25 guy, but agree to disagree.
I think it was Yogi Berra who was the one that originally said that, but don't quote me on that one. I don't know if that's a fact or not, but I think it is Yogi Berra who originally said that.
It was Yogi Berra who did say that, but your stats were a little off.
I went over to second, could be 2. Grout, no, throw is high. And staying over at third is Eberhard. 1 run came in to score. It's a 4-0 game as Erickson comes across the plate. It could have been 2. They had enough time to get Grout if the throw wasn't high. That fielder's choice, RBI for Grout will go in now as Geffrey will come up. He's got plenty of runners here at first and third on the corners for the power hitter. He's going to spin on the first pitch breaking ball to a 1-0.
Wind blowing out at Lee Jordan Field right now.
Carter Geffrey.
And then straight down left field line, or down left field too, and is blowing out there. Perfect location of where Carter hit his home run yesterday against the Glacier Pilots. That ball is smacked and crushed onto the hill. It's going to be foul, but hit about 450 feet.
Talked about the wind blowing out. Wind caught a lot of that one, but just Geffrey couldn't keep it fair.
Man, that one ended up almost halfway up that hill. That is a towering hill to the left side. That ball was absolutely smoke showed.
Geffrey for sure going to want that one back.
Trying to get on the 1-1 as he will come up hacking, but ends up empty.
Was sitting on the fastball. Neely gave him the breaking ball. Just swung straight through it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would Neely if I'm going to give him another heater here. I don't think I want to put that in his ballpark a second time.
Breaking ball inside for the rest of the at-bat.
And another breaking ball. Called third strike right on the corner. Geffrey will go down on a looking K. We are heading to the bottom of the 7th. Miners add 1. It's 4-0. Right back in Chugiak here in Alaska. It's a 4-0 game. The Miners pitchers have held the Chinooks at bay so far in this game. Bowman is into his second inning worth of work. Ball is hit over the ground. What a grab. No, did he lose it? It's on the transfer. It's called. Oh, no, he's got to throw it over to first. They said no catch. It wasn't on the transfer. But what a snag by Grout to even get a glove on that.
Just great reaction time and athleticism there
My
from Carson
goodness.
Grout over at third. Didn't get the out in the air, but still got the out on the throw over to first. An out is an out nonetheless.
Wow. I mean, that was just absolutely smoke showed. Wow. I don't know how he got a glove on that one. That was just crushed right towards his left side.
Did you make that play there, Dylan? You were at the hot corner for your whole career, so.
That's a tough play to make with how far that was outside of his body, and him to go glove on that. That was pretty impressive. Two line drives now to Grout. That one technically a 5-3. As that's going to be a foul ball to a 1-2 count. Madeira so far has lined out over to third. He was the other one that lined out over to Grout over there at third base and is backwards Cade. All the way back in the third inning. The ball lands somewhere.
Just a little high on that fastball. Evens the count up at 2-2. I don't necessarily agree with that call. That's why I'm not the home plate umpire.
Breaking pitch this time, fouled straight back. Just getting a piece of it was Medeiros. 2-2 incoming yet again, and that's going to peg him right in the knee. And when should be more painful for Medeiros and what he's walking down first base line right now. But man, oh man, I mean, might have got him in that one little lower pad that he's got on his left leg, but I'm not sure where that got him.
Definitely going to leave a mark there tomorrow. For sure, black and blue.
It's going to bring up Tate Green, who is the only player that's got 2 hits so far in this game for the Chinooks. Tripled back in the third and also singled in the 5th.
Allen, Texas native. Did not get any at-bats at the University of Central Arkansas.
He'll get a third hit here as Green is 3 for 3. Matches Wilson on the 3-hit day on the side of the Miners. And now it is first and second with 1 out.
I've decided I'm not going to bring up anymore that he didn't have any hits at the University of Central Arkansas because the last time I did, he laced a triple. So I'm gonna stop saying that now.
Yeah, then that time he hit a single, yeah.
Yeah, that's the announcer jinx there, ladies and gentlemen.
0 for 2 there, Landon.
Yeah.
Bradshaw up for his 4th AB. He's been pegged by a pitch and struck out twice early in the game. Breaking pitch ends up spiking Geffrey. Nice block back there to keep the runners at bay at first and second. Got Medeiros waiting there at second. Green over at first after his single. 1-0 count for Bowman. He's got his selection from the stretch. Heater this time is just floated over the head of Medlock. Here comes a run. No, they're going to stop him at third. And it will be a bases juiced 1-out situation on back-to-back hits given up by Bowman.
No movement in the bullpen right now for the Miners. This is Bowman's inning, and Bowman's inning alone.
Bases juiced, 1-out situation called for a strike right on the inside corner. to Hockemeyer.
Chinooks had the bases loaded back in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
And Hockemeyer was actually the first one to see the bases juiced last time as well and struck out swinging. So in a chance to have a bases juice situation again with a 1-1 with 1 out. And fouled straight back to a 1-2. Bowman's got him where he wants him on the 1-2 count. Way ahead here. Gonna work with Geffrey to get this payoff pitch with 1 out.
Got Hockemeyer on the breaking ball last time. Or it was Enseld that got him. Back in the 5th.
The 1-2. And that one's fouled straight back into the mask of the home plate umpire. He seems like he's doing okay. Geffrey makes sure that he's doing all right. Gets him an extra second just to check on him. Hockemeyer resets with his helmets. Bowman set from the full. Big pitch incoming on the 1-2. He's got his selection from Geffrey. Here comes the payoff. One just outside, 2-2 on the count.
Great pitch selection there, but just misses his spot. Not terrible, though. That's one of those pitches that you're okay just missing with your spot because you set up a whole boatload of options here for the 2-2.
And Hockemeyer going to stay in this AB with another foul ball. Going to be the 6th pitch incoming for the DH. Going to try again with the 2-2. Here it comes from Bowman from the full. Swing and a miss. He gets him down on strikes. Big second out of the inning.
Hockemeyer goes down the same way he did with the bases juice back in the bottom half of the 5th inning, swinging.
So Clark's got about 1,000 to get something in for the Chinooks, who've had a 1-out bases juice situation twice in this game now and have still yet to collect a run. Got him down a strike after the foul ball. Here, the second offering into Clark. Slide piece ends up sliding straight off the plate to a 1-1 count. And that ball could be in playable territory. Grout's watching it towards the fence and will watch it fall out of play. So 1-2 now, as Bowman is 1 strike away from getting out of the bases juice situation. This time the 1-2. Big pitch incoming. Ends up high outside. Will even back up the counts at 2 apiece.
It's the same spot he missed just a batter ago with Hockemeyer before he got him swinging.
See if you could do the same exact thing that he did the last AB to this AB. He's got his selection. Here it comes from the full. Fouled off. Just getting a piece of it is Clark. Staying alive is the second baseman. The 5'9", 185-pound junior from Wright State. Team played a couple of really good games against Vanderbilt as well. Beat them once, lost them 4-3. As that pitch lands high, 3-2. Don't need to say how big this next pitch is. Incoming, bases juiced, coming from the full on the 3-2 count. Got the selection from Geffrey. Here it comes. Runners are moving, and it is fouled off to the left side. Going to have to throw it across the diamond here as the runners will be moving again on the 3-2 with 2 outs. Trying one more time, the 3-2. Runners go. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. Bowman gets him with the heater. Back-to-back Ks, and we are going to the top of the 8th.
2 hits, no runs, 3 wins, Brigham left on base to score. The Miners.
Welcome back here at Lee Jordan Field. It's the home of the Miners broadcast right on our YouTube channel. Dylan Vanderveen, Landon Stills right next to me as we are set and ready for action in the top of the 8th. It's still a 4-0 game in favor of the Miners. New pitcher on the mound here hailing from Dickinson is Glenn Cantalupo Jr. The sophomore stands at 5'10", didn't have necessarily a huge season that he wanted back in 2025 in the spring. 10.8 ERA on his season and 6.2 innings pitched in 8 total appearances. Gave up 8 earned runs over that time. Walked 12 batters compared to just his 6 strikeouts. Location is the main concern for Cantalupo Jr. Not having any problems with his location on the first 2 pitches. It is finding himself in there. Ball lands outside.
Bilter still searching for his first hit in the young season. At 391 this year at Colorado School of Mines.
And that's going to be a drop third strike. It's thrown over to first, and that will do it for out number 1. Parentoni, then McGee before it flips to the top of the order at the 8 and 9 spot right now. But that really doesn't mean anything for this team. All these guys pretty good hitters as they've all collected at least a couple of hits outside of a player that we just mentioned in Evan Bilter. Slider ends up way out of the zone for the 1-0 count. And kind of the same thing with the second pitch. Ends up low this time to a 2-0, working quickly as Cantalupo Jr. He's got his third selection already, as that is sky high, right center field. Underneath it is Medeiros, and he will make the catch in right field. There's 2 away. That's the first F9, actually, of the day.
Nice little fun tidbit there for us.
It's a pretty interesting statistic there. Poor Joe McGee out there playing in right field for the Miners hasn't had any action yet.
He's had a couple of base hits out there, though.
Hey, he's just got to touch the ball, you know?
Yeah.
He's got to touch it and throw it in. Starts off 0-1 to the batter in McGee as that ball is fouled off to the left side out of play. 0-2 on the count.
Cantalupo Jr. not struggling with his command at all so far in this young outing.
0-2 just inside, 1-2 on the count. Painted the wrong white that time, painted the white of the left-handed batter's box rather than the plate. One and two try is poked over to short, one hop, and it is gonna be caught actually right there. I thought it was gonna bounce once and skip into his glove. It's caught on the line drive. We will go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's still 4-0 Miners here in Alaska. Lee Jordan Field, broadcast for the Miners as we are starting and ready to go for the bottom of the 8th. First pitch strike on the breaking pitch by Bowman. It's been a really good outing so far for Bowman in this game as that ball is drilled down the line but foul by a couple of feet. Just missed that left field line as it's now an 0-2 count, just a long strike two. The 0-2 popped up and will be a play. No one can get there. A little bit of miscommunication that time between Parentoni and Medlock. Looked like Medlock was going to track it down, stopped the last moment, thought Parentoni was maybe going to get it. And that's what happens when you see someone out of the corner of your eye like that. Sometimes it just leads to a play, end up being a base hit just over second base.
First real blemish on the Miners' defense so far today, just a little miscommunication error.
That'll go down as a hit for Groves there as he ends up at first base. Over to short. Here a play over to second. Great effort by Parentoni. Over to first. No, not in time. What a play by Parentoni to get the lead runner on the shorthanded flip, and it is going to be now one out. Thought it could be two, but it was real close over there at first.
Parentoni has done an amazing job there over in the 6th spot at short. made some amazing plays. Barehanded one back against the Bucks in Game 2 of the Alaskan Airlines opening series. Great play there to dig it out and get the runner at second.
Another good pitch for the strike one. Spat on it for the 0-1. Seeing another pitch, he's going to be Mitchell, excuse me. McGlon sits there over at first after hitting the ball over to Parentoni at short. Just getting a piece of it, ends up behind Geffrey for a foul ball and an 0-2 count now. Anchors Mandiro seeing Green in the 7-8-9 spot after Mitchell. Green's been the one that's really torched the Miners so far in this game with a 3-for-3 performance from the 9 spot.
I have nothing to say about him. Green's just done a great job today at attacking Miners hitters early in counts, and that 3-for-3 day shows.
Trying with the 0-2, shaking off one from Geffrey. He's got his selection now from the bump. There comes the pitch by Bowman. Swing and a miss. Another breaking ball lands in there. Catches him swinging through him the chair. And it is 2 outs.
Did you say cheddar or the chair?
The chair. So, funny story. That one.
Yeah, I'm gonna need context on
the
this.
story. It's just like the sword. You know, you do the sword where you throw it down in the holder, but it's through him the chair. Baylor actually brought that up to me when I played club ball at the University of Kansas. They brought lawn chairs in for every single strikeout that they had. So I got that from them. Threw him the chair. They'd yell it every time they got a kid. It's hilarious.
It's actually pretty cool.
I took it. Shout out to Baylor University. That's the only time I ever shout out something positive about Baylor. I'm a Kansas guy, so. 0-2 as Bowman's way ahead. That one lands just off. Bowman was walking off the mound, thought he got the strikeout, but will go for pitch number 4 against Anchors. One and two try is sky high in foul territory. Grout's underneath it and will make the catch, tailing backwards. Another good play on the recovery by Grout, and we will go to the last inning in the 9th. It's a 4-0 game for the Miners. Lee Jordan Field, the home where you've been the last 8 innings, right here on the Miners YouTube channel. It is a 4-0 game, still in favor of the Mat-Su Miners. They have not allowed anything so far on the defensive side of things. Their pitching has been extremely sound along with their defense. Shout out Carson Grout for the couple of plays that he's made. Brings it to the top of the order again. Another AB for Wilson, as he is 3 for 4 today. He is 5th AB of the game. Started off with 3 singles and grounded out to short his last time up in the 7th inning. Two and one, lands in there for a strike, as it's now 2-2. Erickson waits on deck for his chance at the swings. 2-2, spins too far out of the zone. 3-2 now. Goes
Wilson.
Erickson, Eberhard, and Medlock, landed.
No, you're good. Wilson threw out on the base pass, 35 stolen bases at Johnson College.
Another ground out over to short, making the play on the stretch by Mitchell. It's 1 away now, as Wilson will now go 3 for 5. He's had a couple of chances to have a 4-hit day, and the time he's gotten it necessarily done, but still 3-hit days, pretty impressive.
Take 3 hits over no hits, that's for sure.
Absolutely you will. And now sky high, left center field. Ridge Erickson will end the inning there off the catch by Groves in left field. Or excuse me, that's 2 outs, as Eberhard will now check out.
Now batting for the Miners, number 29, the first baseman, Carter Eberhard.
Eberhard's driven in 3 of the 4 runs today for the Miners. A sac fly back in the 1st inning and a double back in the 4th.
One quick ground out over to second, making the off-balance throw over to first. And a quick inning this time for the top of the 9th. We're going to the bottom half. It's 4-0. Miners need 3 outs. Home of the Miners broadcast. The bottom of the 9th inning. It is big number 50. Grayson Chapel here to try to close out this game in what is a 4-0 game right now. The Chinooks down to their final 3 outs. Strike 1 thrown by number 50.
Chapel struggled a little bit in his first outing. That was game 1 against the Bucks. Got a double play to get out of it, but he had 2 runners on to start the inning with nobody out.
Well, fired in for strike 2. 0-2 now on a couple of straight heaters. Got some movement to his ball on his fastball. Got some real good tail to it, and the 0-2 is maybe a little bit too good, too far in the strike zone, but trying to get that strikeout on 3 pitches.
Local 341, FLCIO.
Chinooks get their advertising out in foul balls. Each foul ball is brought to you by a different sponsor. That's something I haven't quite seen yet.
Honestly, a smart way to do it.
Yeah, a really smart way to do it. And a strike 3 called right on the outside corner, and it is a 1-out inning so far, as there is 2 more to get in this 4-0 game.
Tate Green, 3 base hits today. 2 singles and a triple. Just came all the way back in the 3rd inning.
That is the 12th K of the day by the Miners pitching staff, an even dozen now. As that is another really hard heater as it goes 0-2. You can hear the glove just beautifully right off of that fastball.
One of my favorite sounds in all of sports, a nice fastball hitting the catcher's mitt.
Apple, this time a little bit spiked to the plate as he's got a choice word for himself on how he threw that pitch. Nice job by Mondi getting that ball from behind. Always shout out to him.
Mondi had a great start yesterday against the Glacier Pilots.
Kate Arden finished that game with 5 beautiful innings as well. Both of them pitched really, really good. And that one, oh boy. Oh boy, that one just hit him directly in the head. And I'm not even sure if that got all the helmet there. That might have actually ricocheted off into his face. He was holding his left temple there, and hopefully everything's good for Tate Green, who has done just a phenomenal job today here from the plate, and more
Went
than likely
straight to the dugout.
Man, oh man, that was just a heater right there. Man, oh man. We'll hope to see him doing okay there in the dugout. Never want to see somebody get hit in the head like that. It's always a very scary moment in the game of baseball, especially when you got someone like Chapel who is pitching upwards of 90 miles an hour.
Pitch came in at about 91 miles an hour.
Yeah, radar gun there from Kate Arn registered that at 91. And that's a tough sight to see if you're a fan of the Miners or of the Chinooks here. Just never want to see someone take one in the head, as Chapel's still warming up here a little bit and making sure his arm stays warm, but wondering what they're going to do here with a runner. Got to get somebody out there at first base. I'm wondering if they're registering him for a possible concussion and making sure that he does not have a concussion before he back and enters this ball game. But here in the bottom of the 9th inning, you want kind of someone to. Yeah, you need. What was that call?
I think, are they saying he went around and then got hit?
That might have maybe ricocheted off the bat. I'm not exactly sure what that call is, but.
Confusion from both us in the booth and the fans here at Lee Jordan Field.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like when they were having a conversation, maybe it was going around on the I don't know what that call is. That's a strange call. Is that one's going to end up being a base hit, and Bradshaw will get on first. I'm wondering if the call is, I mean, he had 2 strikes on him, so I'm wondering if the call is he went around before it hit him. But
Truly don't know.
that is, wow. I don't, yeah, that's got to be the only thing I see.
Did get an official ruling. It was a strikeout. He went around before he got hit.
That is just probably the most brutal way I've ever seen someone strike out. That is just awful.
Trying to look into the Chinooks dugout. Can't see Green. Again, hopefully he's okay. Hockemeyer heads 3-0 now. Chapel's struggling with his command a little bit. Definitely shaken up. Finds his own there.
There is 2 outs. Just needs one more after he got the couple of Ks to start out the inning. That one's going to end up a ball for the Hockemeyer, and it'll put him at first and second now.
Very similar situation that Chapel was in back in game 1 against the Bucks to start the season. 2 runners on, got a double play to get out of it, but there are 2 outs now in the inning to the best of our knowledge. Yes, Carter Geffrey wants to have a conversation with Chapel. Bring up Carson Clark.
So 13 total Ks by the pitching staff for the Miners today now, and even Baker's doesn't. Carson Clark going to step in and not try to be the last out of this inning in this 4-0 game. That's fired in there for a strike 1. 1-2 far outside to a 1-1 count now for Chapel. Closed out that game versus the Bucks, as we mentioned. Got the save in that game 1 against the Bucks in the first season real opener for the Miners in exhibition play.
All up for the save here.
Two and one over to the left side and out of playable territory. Now 2-2 as Chapel is 1 pitch away from closing out this game. He's given up a hit and a walk in this inning, and now wants to get Clark to close it out. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, and that will do it. The Miners win 4-0 to go 4-0 in exhibition play, still undefeated, and they have now put a loss on the last team in the league. So everybody else with the loss, the Miners stay perfect in exhibition play. It is a 4-0 win. So close you out here on the broadcast as the guys go through the line and get all those high fives around for the 4-0. Sure, Tyler Brunn super happy with that. We're going to get out of here from the Chinooks field as we want to move out of here as quickly as possible and get back over to Palmer, and we will sign off there. It is a 4-0 win for the Miners, going to play the Chinooks again here in the second of a 4-game series to close out exhibition play, at least in the conference that is. And we will go to Herman Brothers Field tomorrow, so tune in on the broadcast there for the Miners, saying good night on the broadcast. Dylan Vanderveen, Landon Sills right next to me. Have a good one.